Mum guilt versus business guilt. Who wins? Hello, my name's Anna Lagrange, and I'm one half of Baba Business, the Birth and Baby Business Academy.
And my name is Liz, and I'm the other half of Baba Business, the community membership for birth and baby business owners. Right, so full disclaimer, we know that not all our listeners are parents or but as mums and parents ourselves, we have really felt this kind of, feeling torn, I guess, between kids and between business, because when you run your own business, it is not a 9 to 5, and it is not something you just do within school hours. There can be evenings that you're working, there can be connecting with clients online at different times, because our clients are either pregnant or have kids, so it might be that when they go to bed, they're then making inquiries or reaching out, etc. So it can often feel very much like, who am I focusing on? Like, am I focusing on my kids? Am I focusing on my business? And when you're focusing on one, you're feeling guilty about the other, and vice versa. So we really understand and feel this kind of pull. And we want to firstly express empathy there. I remember writing a blog about this years ago when Will, my middle child, was little, and it's all coming back. So I think it was a and I was working. I think I was so I would have been teaching a hypnobirthing class, and it was a Sunday morning. And he had a party to go to, so I'd arranged to drop him off at a mum friend, and she was going to take them to the party and then drop them back. I don't know what my husband was doing, but anyway, this was obviously the day off. This was my arrangement, and I obviously didn't read the party invitation properly, and I dropped him off, and I think he was about 8 or something. And then later, after my class, I was on the WhatsApp group or the Facebook group or something, and parents were sharing photos, and my heart went into my stomach because I saw that it was a fancy dress party, and I had sent him normal clothes, and I couldn't see him anywhere. And then I messaged my friend, and I was like, I didn't know it was a fancy dress party. Oh, I feel awful. Like, was Will okay? And she came back and she went, yeah, he went as Batman. I got him a costume. I got him one of Ollie's costumes.
Oh, your friend saved the day.
He had his like a Batman mask on. I was going, where's my world?
I love it.
That incident inspired me to write the blog, because I felt so guilty. But my mum friend was like, why would you feel guilty? Like this, we've all done it. We've all dropped somewhere. And, that's why we have these support systems and these friendships, so that we can kind of pick for each other. Like, it's not, she was so unjudgy and lovely. So I don't have those feelings so much anymore, because our kids are a little bit older and they're kind of more in control of their lives now. So when they forget it's a fancy dress, on them, not on me. But yeah, the pull is real, isn't it? The being in one direction.
And then I definitely, when I just had one child, and he was young, I went back to my old job, so that was obviously like a 9 to 5. I definitely felt a lot more guilt then, because there was less flexibility, and so it was good having more flexibility in this world. I really love that. But at the same time, sometimes you just have to pick a work thing over something that you might normally choose to do for them. And I think that's just the reality of pretty much everybody now, because most people do have to work. I used to feel it if I couldn't make sports day. But then I also had friends who hadn't been able to make sports days before, and they'd be like, can you cheer for whoever? I know they're going to be in the same group, whatever. I used to try if I could to get my mum or my dad. Not always possible, because I didn't live close to us for a while. But, it just, I don't know. It's really hard, and you want to do the best thing. But I think it's really, there's lots of different ways you can help yourself around it. But I think it's really difficult when your kids are very small. We have lots of people who listen to our podcast and our clients who have very, very small kids. And you can't really plan when you're necessarily going to work and when you're not, unless you've got some kind of set childcare put in. Some people have got babies, or some people expect to have a baby where they're going to have the same nap every time of the day, you know what I mean? Or they've managed to get their toddlers into that routine. But some babies just aren't going to do that, you know what I mean? Just no matter how hard you try to get the routine, they're not going to. And I think that's can be an incredibly challenging time to run a business. And I always say to my clients who are at that stage, like, just be really kind to yourself and be realistic. Remember why you came into this work, and sort of make that decision about, you know, if you really want to be able to have set focus times on your business, you're going to have to use childcare. You're just going to have to. You don't have a choice, whether even if it's just one day a week or 2 mornings a week or whatever. If you really want to be able to have a set number of hours in your business, just like you would any other job where you were contracted, you're going to have some childcare. Having said that, the beauty about our business is, to a certain extent, you can just run it. You know, if you had a bad day with the baby, then hopefully in the evening when your partner's home, you can then get a bit of work done. And, you know, a lot of us have done it, that sort of fly by the seat of your pants. But I think you've got to kind of be realistic about what's available to you and what you can do, and then work within that, because otherwise you can just spend your whole time being frustrated or feeling a bit worse, feeling resentful, either at your business or at your family. And that's not a good place to run a business or be a mum from.
Yeah, definitely. And I think with the summer holidays coming up in the UK, this is something that we kind of struggle with even more, I think, over the summer holidays. And if you've got a business, you can pre-plan it a little bit. So you can think about batching your social media ahead of time. So you're not kind of like trying to come up with ideas and create graphics and all of those things whilst you're around your children. I mean, if you've just got babies, it's different, but maybe you've got babies and school children, and then that it creates another layer, doesn't it, as well? And something I always found that works for me and my youngest is that we create a bit of a plan together. So we'll say in the morning, like mummy's going to be working, I'm going to have a couple of focused hours, and he can like do what he wants, and usually it will be Xbox these days. And then in the afternoon, it's more like we'll go for a bike ride, we'll get out and we'll go to the shop, and we'll go and see like Nan and Pops, or we'll do something, we'll meet up with a friend. And I think when we have that kind of structure, like he knows where I know where I am. And again, you can plan that, so you can block it out in your diary, so that you've got that. Likelihood is I will then be working in the evening because I've missed that afternoon slot. And so it's sort of like, you have to find a balance somewhere. And I'm lucky my husband works from home, so although he is working, he can also sort of support a bit there as well. But I do definitely think like having those support systems around you, whether you're a business owner as a mum or not, is really important. So those mum friendships where you can like do a bit of an exchange, like I'll have your kids,
absolutely,
you have mine. That always worked really, really well for me. And also, like, no, this is going to sound terrible, but it's also good for business, making friends with other mums, because other mums know other mums who might be your ideal client. So it kind of works well personally, but also from a business sense as well.
Yeah, I think that childcare swap is not always a relaxing option. It can be quite a lot of work, but it really can give you that sort of set time. I also used to have a pre-holiday arrangement with my husband where I'd ask him to take some of his annual leave, not for us to take holiday, but for him to just do everything for the kids, so that because I realised I was taking any annual leave I ever got, because I used to do a bit of part-time work as well as a nurse. It wasn't like I had time off to do something nice for myself. It was like I was there as a mum to do stuff with the kids, which was great. I'm not saying that's not nice. It's just that I think in my husband's head, he was like, annual leave. So I'm going to be going and doing some nice things. So we're going to go on holiday. And then I just had this sudden realization. I was like, yeah, I need you to use a week of your annual leave so that I can actually work like I've been doing for you for the last 10 years. And that did, and it still works quite well, that it gives me that. So it's about having that communication, making a plan together. Obviously, for some of you, it might be that you can use grandparents or whoever else might be I know certainly my mum used to make a bit of time for us on the holidays, so she's like, I'll come and, you know, have the kids for a couple of days on the holiday so that you can get some work done. We've certainly done so my preference when the kids were smaller was actually not to work late into the night, but to get up early in the mornings. And so I would have I would get up early, try and get as much work as I can. Kids would go on screens for the first bit of the day, and then we'd have the rest of the day later. That would be what I would try and do and get that rhythm. And like you say, especially over the 6 weeks holiday, they just kind of get used to it, and they kind of, you know that's what to expect. It really helps if I tell them what we're doing in the afternoon as well, so they can be very good boys and girls for mummy while she does her work, so that we can go and have this nice treat this afternoon. And I still, like say, with my youngest, my 12-year-old, I still sort of use that same technique, but she's, rather than being on screens now, she loves a line in the morning, so it kind of works out. But yeah, I think as well with the word guilt, it's just try and drop the guilt. Like it is what it is. Try not to fall into that victim mentality where you have the resentment. You're like, oh, how am I supposed to run a business when I've got all this stuff to do? It's like, you and we both know this because we've both got aged children now who are about to leave home. Like, enjoy your kids, enjoy the stage. Like, don't have that time your kids thinking, oh, I could be doing this, I could be doing that. Like, get organized, get systems in place, enjoy your children, but also make sure that you have the help and everything set in motion as much as you can, so that you can spend time prioritizing your business as well. And then just drop the guilt around it, and and just do the best you can, because every phase that you're in will soon be over, and then it'll be a whole nother phase with other problems.
That makes me want to bluff. But also, I think my sort of final note on that would be that, it's great for our kids to see us succeeding at something that we're really passionate about. It shows them that we don't all have to follow this kind of, like kind of corporate suited type 9 to 5 type work, which is, obviously if that's what you want, then that's great. But that there is room for different kind of experiences
and it's
and to be successful as a woman, if you've got daughters, is fantastic to show them that. But it's also great to show your sons that as well, because it's important for boys to see women just absolutely smashing it. So we're also doing it. Or that was one of my big motivators when I was younger. When the kids were younger, was that I wanted them to see that as well. So yeah.
Me too. Yeah. And if you want support with your business and creating a business that's going to be right for you, right for your family, growing it in the right way for wherever you are at your stage, excuse me, in your stage of business and your stage in life, then come and join us in the membership. We have got we've got a workshop for you where you can come along, a webinar, and find out a little bit more about how we help you to create a thriving business. We'll put the link to that below. And come and join us in the membership with lots of other birth and baby business owners who are also winging it like the rest of us.
Definitely.
We'd love to see you next week.